I read that you were living in Yugoslavia at the time, and correct me on this. You were living there, and when the country went into a civil war, they just came to your door and just brought and before you knew it, you were a soldier. You were now fighting in the Civil War.
Yes, correct.
How does that? What is that day like?
Yeah, look,
Whoa!
I grew up in a one very, very difficult society. When people talk about socialism and communism, they don't understand that it's a based on lies. So communism, when Yugoslavia was established, this Yugoslavia I was born, 1945. Of course, communist society and the leaders that deleted the past or making everybody from the past as a villain and they as a good souls. And you're born in society with everything is a gray, Jeremy. Everything is a gray. I can't even explain to you what means what gray. From the your outfit, life and think about communism. People mostly don't understand. It's your uprising. And the day you're born, first of all, my parents they gave me the name Mario, as everybody knows, but that was being considered a being rebel, right? The name should be like some domestic type name. But my parents,
Really?
even typical communist product, they enjoyed some type of, little rebellion inside of themselves. So when I was 14 years old, growing up in communism was a difficult time, and I do remember 80s. And then I was a kid when the Ronald Reagan was the president, and he announced the Star Wars program. Right, everybody in Eastern Bloc was just rushing in. I mean, all money was being poured into that defense space type, And when you're born as any communism, from very first day, you understand any words. You have the slogans everywhere, right? And it's like literally everything is like about socialism, communism, about heroes of the Second World War, Che Guevara, and Castro and everybody else. So like you have no privy what's happening outside of the border because
Mhm.
communist government and I consider myself lucky late on in life. My grandfather was the second man in charge of secret intelligence police in Yugoslavia. And he told me some stuff, as a kid. And, of course, I have big mouth, so I put him in more trouble, which I didn't intentionally do. But we didn't know what's happening overseas till the very first movies didn't start arriving in cinema mid 80s from US, BMX Bandits, Gremlins and some magazines. So like we were like, literally licking the pages, and see the McDonald's. It was a dream for us because in communism, everything what has English word, it was considered enemy propaganda, right?
Right.
So you can't use any English words because that's not appropriate. In the school, majority foreign languages we've been taught was Russian and German rather than English. English being considered for the smart kids, class
Was
type.
it?
Yeah. And I was 14 years old, and I was a very, very wild boy. I was enjoying more the street than anything else. And my parents decided to kick me out on a Christmas Eve 1986. It was a very cold night, very, very cold night. There was no magic in Christmas Eve, let me tell you.
Uh,
I was lucky enough that my grandfather grabbed me and he gave me education. He started pushing me into the military counterintelligence because in communism, one thing it's very apparent. When you're 14 years old or 15 years old, you finish year 8, you decide what you're going to be rest of your life. And my
Whoa.
grandfather decided for me that's best to enroll the military school.
Mhm.
Somehow 1991, so you growing up in that society, in those beliefs, in those, like everything is good, like being poor is good, not having money is good, and you capitalistic pig in US, what do you know of Venice Beach? And just like I wanted the part of this, but when you inserted those beliefs in communism, and in hindsight, in communism, everybody spied everybody, Jeremy. Right? My parents, I remember my father. Sorry, I'm dragging this, but my father used to be waking up 4:30 in the morning, and he will go into bathroom, covering himself with a blanket in the bathtub to listen Voice of America to we know what's happening overseas, right? And guess what? My mom should reported him. My mom should reported him to secret police, and he served some time just for the listening to the radio. So 1991, suddenly everything's changed. As you know, 1989, the Berlin Wall fall, the Eastern Blocs are crumbling. Last bastion was Romania, where Ceausescu was fighting for his survival.
Mhm.
And then Yugoslavia
Mhm.
come to the it was a time for Yugoslavia to fall apart, consisting from six republics, amalgamated into one federation. Everybody speaks different language, different religion.
Mhm.
We've been taught we all brothers and sisters. And of course, suddenly you have the federal army enforcing federation, and Croatia started fighting for independence. And how I ended up in a war, in a nutshell, I was, in the morning being wake up by the military police on my door to report to army barracks immediately. And I told them, yeah, I'll come, in 2 hours, I need to dress myself. I walk downstairs, but before I walk downstairs, I read a note from my parents. They left me night before again,
Yeah.
and they're gone into some city in interior in Croatia where there was no fighting. And as I was walking downstairs in coffee shop, I saw my friends, close friends, who become enemies because of religion and nationality. And
Mhm.
suddenly, hell broke loose, and that was my first day in the war, 14th of July, 1991. Yeah.